Hey there, and welcome to this session. In this session, I want to give you 5 reasons why you should have a living trust. Who am I? I'm Emil Belvin. I'm a real estate broker and probate specialist here in Los Angeles. And I want to talk to you about 5 reasons why I think you should have a living trust. Number 1 is to keep your estate private. To keep your estate private. If you have a living trust, your living trust is where you left it. In the file cabinet, in your safe deposit box, with your attorney. It's with your private belongings where you left it. It's not going to be like probate, where probate is public record. If I want to know anything about who's inheriting what in your estate, it's public record. I can go down to the county Superior Court office, type in your estate, and pull up all the information that's been filed on your probate case. Again, it's public record. So to keep your estate private, I recommend that you have a living trust. Now, in regard to probate, having a living trust helps you avoid probate. So that would be number 2. Number 2 is to avoid probate. It's very important. I ask people sometime when I'm giving workshops, is probate good or bad? And you'll see like half the room or more than half say, yeah, probate is kind of bad. I hear it's not a good thing. Well, definitely we want to avoid probate. We don't want to go through probate if we can help it. How do we do that? We have to have our living trust set up to try and avoid probate. Number 3 is to reduce the cost of succession. I get calls all the time about how much is a living trust. Hey, Emil, thanks for giving that presentation on, the truth about probate, and how much is a living trust, by the way. And, to be honest, a trust may run you as low as $1,000, as much as $5,000. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less. But somewhere in that ballpark range, depending on the complexity of your living trust. But how much is the cost of probate? If you have an estate and that estate is, let's say, $500,000, the cost of your probate could easily be $25,000. That's attorney fees, court costs, administrative fees, and that's not including any extraordinary fees. That's just the base minimum. So that's starting at $25,000. So even if you're on the high end for a living trust of $5,000, that's still a lot less than $25,000 for going through probate. So again, the cost of succession is a lot lower if you do a living trust. Number 4 is to alleviate family confusion. Well, there's no ironclad way to alleviate family confusion. Some family members are just going to stir up some confusion. But if you have a living trust, at least it's in writing. And there's not a lot that can be done if this is what the deceased said that they want to do. If they said they wanted to leave the house to charity, then they're leaving the house to the charitable organization they want to leave it to. And that's how it works. So in regard to alleviating family confusion, having things in writing definitely help. It's not ironclad, but it helps. And last but not least, number 5 is to control your assets after you're gone. I think the last thing you would want to happen is that someone inherits something of yours that you didn't even have a good relationship with, that you didn't even talk to when you were alive, but now they're inheriting 25% of your estate just because you all are related. And that's how it works. When you go through probate court, the judge doesn't look at, who and how you guys got along. It's, family, the husband, the wife, the kids. If there aren't, if you weren't married, if there weren't kids, the parents. So it doesn't matter if you guys were on speaking terms or not, if you guys had a good relationship or not, if they cared for you while you were sick and going through, hospice or whatever or not. That doesn't come up. It's just a matter of, were you blood related? And who's next? Who's next to kin? And that's who gets it, period. So again, to try to alleviate any type of outcome that you don't want to have be the case, I just gave you 5 reasons why you should have a living trust. Let's review them again. Number 1 is to keep your estate private. Keep your estate private. Number 2 is to avoid probate. And we'll get into a little bit more detail in another video that I'm putting together in regard to probate. Number 3 is to reduce the cost of succession. It can be very expensive. Probate can be very expensive, so definitely a living trust is a cheaper way to go. Number 4 is to alleviate family confusion, or I should say, try to alleviate family confusion. And last but not least is to control your assets once you're gone, because the last thing you want is for somebody that you didn't even, a family member you didn't even speak to inherit something that you had no intention for them to inherit simply because they were next of kin. So that's 5 good reasons why you should have a living trust. Again, who am I? I'm Emil Belvin. I'm a real estate broker and probate specialist here in Los Angeles. And I work with a few real estate and probate attorneys here in my office. So if there's any matters that that you're going through, I should say, if there's any matters in regards to wills, trust, or probate, and you have questions, by all means, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. My office number is 310-670-3002. Again, this is not intended to be legal advice. This is just to give you some framework, some generalities on how to deal with these matters. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll be in touch. Thanks for tuning in and checking us out. Be well.